It's a remarkable rags to riches story, carved into a remote ravine in the Basilicata countryside in the instep of Italy's boot, once named the shame of Italy for its caves that housed the city's poor. By the 1970s, it had become a ghost town, the first time the settlement had been uninhabited in 10,000 years. Yet, a decade later, its evocative beauty laid the foundations for an extraordinary reveal, Matera, the third oldest city in the world. Carved into the rock, Matera is composed of a network of caves inhabited since the Paleolithic era. We can observe how men over the centuries have been able to coexist with nature without distorting it. To continue our search of La Dolce Vita, first we have to explore the hardships. That's why our next stop is in Matera, Europe's oldest city. Welcome to Boundaries Unlimited. Matera had some serious issues: poor sanitation, brutal work conditions, and malaria. Yet, the population grew up to 15,000 by the early 20th century. Half a dozen of family members and their animals living into one cave. Residents would use basins as a toilet, and then they would burn the waste over the cliffside. It wasn't up until 1945, Carlo Leve, a doctor and a painter, posted his autobiography, which shed light to the living conditions in Matera. Thus, Matera became an embarrassment for Italy. In 1952, a bill was passed to clean up the Sassi and create new homes for Materans. After World War II, the United States was funding the rebuilding of Europe through the Marshall Plan. With money flowing in, the Materan risanamento could be done with style. After Matera was abandoned, it turned into a squatter's paradise, full of prostitution and drugs. Think of Chicago. Locals wanted to bury the Sassi with concrete or blow it up with dynamite, but a few years later in 1993, UNESCO listed Matera as a World Heritage Site. Today, the historical city churches have to fight for space between boutique hotels, restaurants, and galleries, which themselves have been repurposed from former cave dwellings. The Sassi is huge, a lot bigger than what I originally expected. We have a lot of ground to cover. Definitely has more followers than me. Worked up an appetite for some gelato, getting lost in the Sassi. Trying to figure out where to go.
To avoid people?
To avoid the peoples.
Our hotel here, that's the Duomo. We should be on this side. But it says we are right here.
How do I read you? Navigating the Sassi is like navigating a hidden maze. You're gonna get lost every turn you take. You can either choose to follow the crowd, which will typically take you to one of the central piazzas, or you can venture out into one of the alleyways and see what you'll find in there, or get lost and have to turn back around. Where will you end up?
At the bar.
At the bar.
At the bar.
At the bar. Exactly my point. I walked down an alleyway and this does not look like the cave church to me, so let's keep on looking.
To the bar.
Not only did the Materans live and sleep in a cave, they also went to church in caves as well too. Right behind me is a Santa Maria that was constructed back in the 14th century. It looks like it's been excavated completely out of a rock. Speaking of a rags to riches story, Matera recently starred in the newest James Bond film, No Time to Die. Currently we're standing in Piazza San Giovanni. The scene that was shot here was when 007 was in the Aston Martin DB5 doing donuts and getting shot at. So it's pretty cool to be in the same spot. I looked for tire marks on the stone, but they must have did a good job protecting the stone when filming the movie, because there's none to be found. Speaking of No Time to Die shooting locations, this is actually the wall right here where 007 jumps the wall on his motorcycle right in front of the Duomo. Whew. Sorry, out of breath, that was a lot of steps. I did say we were going to sleep in a cave because where else can you sleep where someone else has slept 9,000 years ago? We are staying at Sextantio, and I didn't choose it because of the name, but because it's a historically accurate cultural restoration project, and everything that was used in building this is actually old material. So let's go check it out. It literally feels like you are taken back in time and you are living in a cave. And what's crazy about some of these cave homes is back in the day, a lot of the inhabitants of the Sassi actually lived right here, and their cows and livestock would live right over there. I'm assuming that's how this was set up. But I'll give you guys a tour of this place. So if you look over here, you have a little desk so you can see who's coming into your door. It's better than a, oh, watch your head, camera woman. This is better than a peephole. So over here is where you actually tether your donkey when you go in the bed so he doesn't run away.
Just a shy kind of place is this.
And when they restored this, they actually used the old wood that they found here that was originally used to build the caves. Like even the ground elements, they are using the stone that was originally used for this cave back in the 1300s when they built over into this Sassi. All right, now this is really cool. Everything is candle lit, but everything is historically accurate, like I was saying. So we come over here. So this is the original shower they used back in the 1300s. Can you believe it that this shower is still here? Pretty sure they probably used the same stone that was here originally for the sink. That's a really cool touch. Original toilet. Actually, originally they used to just go to the bathroom in a basin and burn the remains off the side of the hill, which we're not gonna be doing because they upgraded us. Now come this way. Now, while this looks very romantic, I think this was the pig pen where they kept all their livestock before. But it is very beautiful and very romantic in here. It doesn't smell bad, if you thought it smelled like pigs. But this is easily one of the most unique places we've stayed at before. Wow. I wonder, see, this might have led somewhere too. Oh, also too, quick tip guys. So, they gave us a little bit of a special room, and the way I got the special room is I said it's our anniversary. So quick tip, anytime you book a hotel or if you book at a restaurant, always put it's your anniversary. Every time. They always try to give you special things if it's your anniversary, most of the time. So good tip guys, I highly recommend it. So the secret is out and Matera is no longer a hidden gem. There are so many tourists around. I know that sounds hypocritical because I am a tourist, but I did not expect Matera to be this busy. It's as busy as I expected Venice to be, which Venice actually didn't seem to have as many people as even Matera does. Because the best part of Matera, in my opinion so far, is at nighttime. We're walking around the streets and there's no one around us. It is so quiet and peaceful. If you're gonna come visit Matera, do not do it as a day trip. Come and stay in the Sassi. Book in a little cave hotel. As I say that, someone drives by. Book a cave hotel and it will make the experience much better. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little disappointed when we first arrived because there was just so many people around. But now, I understand Matera. Since we've made a lot of 007 references in the No Time to Die movie, Bond is here in Matera to visit Vesper Lynd's gravesite. So there's no better way to celebrate that than to have 2 Vesper martinis.
Shaken, not stirred.
That's good. Whew. That's good. After having breakfast in an old monastery, we decided let's go check out the historical home district because the neighborhood we were staying in, the modern builds, they were a little bit too modern for our taste, you know, built in the 1300s. I mean, they even had a bidet, a shower, a bathroom. Who wouldn't prefer to defecate in a bucket? So we're gonna go check out the old edition of the Sassi. Even the prehistoric sidewalks, man, they're intense back in the day. That's why no one was fat. House number 1 on the list is gonna be the Hilltop Bungalow. And would you look at this living space? Tons of living space. Once we come over here, this is the main living room. Right over here, this is where the magic happens.
Shall we shag now or shall we shag later?
Bedroom number 1. And look at those countertops. Look at those countertops. Woo, look at that. Fancy. That's where the bucket goes. Right about there. Keep it away from the living space. Bedroom number 2. And the best of all, the front porch view. Sold?
Sold. Not really. I need more kitchen space.
More kitchen space? What do you want? Did you not see the granite countertops?
Yeah, it's countertops.
Okay, fine. We'll go look at another one. Yeah, that might be a reason why not to buy this house. They need to put a handrail in or something, but maybe because the historical district may not allow them to. So keep that in mind. All jokes aside, it's pretty amazing to be standing in these caves that were built potentially up to 9,000 years ago. Wow, it does remind me a lot of Petra. If you're gonna be in Matera, you definitely need to hike over here because this is probably one of the best panoramic views of the Sassi. Last night I made a statement I feel like I need to elaborate on. Sure, Matera has a ton of tourism. While it's an inconvenience, it's not necessarily a bad thing because tourism helps support the regrowth, the rebuilding, and restoring of Matera. And while Italy has over 2,000 semi-abandoned medieval towns, tourism is just one of those vital components that helps bring these towns back to life. Until 1927, when the National Aqueduct was created, Materans relied on 5 large man-made cisterns to provide water to the city. Today we're exploring the largest of the 5 cisterns that has a capacity of 5 million liters of water. Matera's local tradition and resilient spirit have proved as durable as a stone's foundation. Today the city is surely one of the country's most extraordinary and beguiling destinations. Whether you stay here for a few days or live there, you feel an emotion. You imagine how generations of people lived. Speaking of aqueducts, we're actually standing on one that doubles as a bridge. This is the bridge that was in the James Bond film No Time to Die. Even though the movie suggests that it's in Matera, it's really not. It's in a small town 30 minutes outside of Matera named Gravina in Puglia. That being said, since we're no longer in Matera, our next stop along the journey is a magnet for honeymooners, artists, and anyone in search of a taste of the sweet life. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, comment below, subscribe for more, and we will see you guys in the next one.